Now it's my pleasure to introduce your next speaker, Werner Buehler, OTECC's General Manager. This is Werner's second annual meeting with OTECC, and his perspective and message is one everyone should hear. Enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Well, thank you, Gary. Thank you, OTECC Board. And thank you, OTECC member, for the opportunity once again to be your General Manager this past year. You know, this is a responsibility that I don't take very lightly, and a challenge I thoroughly enjoy. Honestly, I believe I have the best job in the world. I work with some of the best people in the world. And again, like Gary said, these OTECC employees out here, they're the ones that are out there in the middle of the night. They're the ones helping make arrangements to help you make payments. These are the folks that run your co-op. Let's have a hand of applause for them. There's one particular employee who has been behind the scenes for the past 21 years. Mike Chase, would you mind standing forward and waving your hand so people can see you? Mike's been in the utility business for 38 years, 21 years with OTECC. He's been the head of engineering for OTECC since its inception. A lot of the reasons why your lights stay on through all sorts of weather, through all sorts of snow and wind, is because of Mike Chase. Mike retires into this month, and I want to say thank you, Mike, for everything you've done over the years. As Gary said, we're member-owned and we're not-for-profit. This is a huge concept. This means that your locally, democratically controlled elected board of directors, me and all the OTECC employees, are focused solely upon delivering value to the OTECC membership. We're not focused on rate of return for stockholders somewhere in Omaha, Nebraska, or Chowduck, China. I and my management staff do not have compensation tied to stock performance. We don't travel in corporate jets to exotic places. Huh? How's that? Pretty good, huh? And believe me, we don't have golden parachutes waiting for us when we get done. Our total focus is on delivering affordable value to you, the member. The 7 cooperative principles that Gary mentioned appear to be more applicable today in this unstable economic climate than they ever were in the past. Our motives are very, very clear. We do our business simply, directly, and we always try to do the right thing. And I will tell you that this board wouldn't have it any other way. We're not trying to maximize profits. We're not involved in Ponzi schemes, shadow financing deals, or future speculation. Again, we exist solely for delivering the very best value possible for our members. It is this basic, transparent, even-handedness which will serve us well as we deal with the challenges before us. One such challenge before us is the proposed 9.4% wholesale power increase from the Bonneville Power Administration, or BPA. BPA identified 4 specific reasons for this proposed increase. Additional expenses at the Columbia Generation Station, it's a nuclear plant, for safety, reliability, and performance upgrades. The cost of fish, salmon mitigation, the economic downturn, and increased costs of maintenance and operation of the hydro system. And if this isn't challenging enough, BP gave us indications after this initial announcement that this increase may not be enough, that an even higher increase may be in the offering. As it turns out, BP is forecasting a drier than normal runoff season. They derive a significant amount of their revenue from selling off excess power. With poor water conditions, there will be less power to sell. With a weak economy, less associated revenue to offset expenses. So, what does this mean to you? Well, the board and I and staff will work hard to make certain whatever the final BP increase is fair to all concerned. It is unlikely we can prevent an increase from occurring. However, we will continue to implement new efficiencies and cost-saving measures while maintaining the same high level of reliability service to you you've come to expect and you deserve. Many of you have already figured out we will continue to see upward pressure on rates. Historic forms of power generation are no longer enough and are in need of expensive upgrades. More of the fuel for our region's hydro generation, which is water, is being allocated for other uses. And some of the newer renewable or alternative forms of generation will be increasingly introduced into our generation mix. Of course, they'll be more expensive. Be assured we will undertake every measure possible to manage this transition to new, more expensive sources of power to mitigate impacts to you, the members. Like you, OTECC is feeling the effects of the recession. Our industrial sales and revenues are off 25%, and most of our industrial customers are doing everything they can just to hang on. It goes without saying, these are large users of power. They provide sales and associated revenues which correspondingly reduce rates to other OTECC members. In October, we reduced rates to industrial customers 7.5% in an effort to bring these rates closer to true cost of service and help these businesses survive. We will continue to make every effort necessary to not only retain jobs in Eastern Oregon, but also pursue new jobs through economic development efforts. You can be proud of OTECC's efforts and successes on your behalf. We have not had a rate increase since 2001, and several rate reductions since. How many power companies can make that claim, much less most businesses? These accomplishments are the result of sound research, clear business decisions, and because the cooperative business model works. We'll continue to search out sensible cost reductions and implement new technology which will enable us to work smarter and harder. We know that's what you expect and that you want us to pursue every avenue possible to bend those cost curves down and at the same time increase the reliability of electric service. The 7 cooperative principles will guide us through the turbulent waters of this economy and the changes which lie ahead with the new, more expensive sources of power. It is these principles, coupled with you, the membership, which makes OTECC a strong, viable organization. It's your organization, it's your power company, and quite honestly, it's your success. Thank you for your kind attention today. I hope to see you at next year's annual meeting. And how about bringing along a friend or neighbor who's never been here before? Thank you.